Rell Seas is one of the most anticipated games on Roblox ever made, and it's been in development for almost 4 years now without a full release. From early concepts in 2021, major trailers, system reveals, and even Trello breakdowns showing you exactly how much is done, the progression of this game is actually insane.
Now for Rell Seas, right, we want to make it so that you can progress with anything. If you want to go chop down trees to progress, go chop down trees. If you want to go cook, go cook. If you want to go fish, go fish. And that will all affect your character in different ways.
If you've been following Roblox anime games, you already know Rell Games has a reputation from Shindo Life, but Rell Seas is on a completely different scale. Open world scaling, devil fruits, Haki systems, and full PvP naval combat. And the craziest part, we've been watching it evolve in real time since 2021. This game has almost 1 million members inside of its Discord. Imagine what the little kids that can't join it are going to play, what the numbers are going to be. Just imagine it. Rell Seas was first announced in 2021 as a long-term project by Rell Games. At this stage, there was no real gameplay, just early concept direction for a One Piece inspired open world experience. The devs talked about a large ocean, ship exploration, and more skill-based combat system compared to like typical RPGs like blocks, fruits. At this point, it was more of a vision than a playable game, but the community immediately started tracking it because of the studio's previous success. Throughout 2022, development stayed mostly behind the scenes. There were no major public builds, all small development updates and early system work were being done internally. This was the phase where core mechanics like movement, ocean systems, and early combat foundations were being tested. But nothing was really ready to show to the public yet. The silence actually made more people curious than less interested. The hype was pretty high at this point. 2023 is when everything changed. Rell Seas dropped its first major cinematic trailer, often referring to as Movie 1. It showcased the massive ocean environments, ships moving across waves, and early combat animations that looked way more polished than most Roblox games. This is also when the first real wave of leaks and reposts started happening on Twitter and YouTube and Discord. Most of these weren't actual hacks or leaks, they were just official sneak peeks shared on Discord that everyone reposted. I can show you a few right now. In 2024, the game started showing deeper gameplay systems. We got a second major showcase called Movie 2, which focused more on combat, abilities, and progression systems rather than just visuals. This is where things like Haki development, fruit abilities, and boss encounters started getting highlighted more clearly. We also saw early looks at large enemies like sea monsters and structured PvE fights, which confirmed the game wasn't just PvP, it was a full PvE progression. If you wanted a good representation on what to play the game Overworld on Roblox. It's almost the same concept, just 500 times better, and this game is completely polished at this point. Not completely, but you'll see what I mean. Somewhere between 2024 and 2025, the Trello released. One of the biggest turning points was the Trello. Whenever it wasn't just hype, it was a full breakdown of development progress. It showed categories like combat systems, fruit abilities, ships, islands, NPCs, and progression of mechanics. Players could literally see what was being completed and what was in progress, and what still needed work, obviously. While it increased transparency, it also made it obvious how massive the scope of the game really was. A lot of people didn't understand this and were just begging for the game to be released, even though it wasn't ready, which I'm happy with how much they polished it and how long they've waited. The delays were crazy. We've had probably 3 delays and they've all lasted 6 to 10 months and it's still not out, even 4 years later. As time went on, the community started noticing the pace of the updates slowing down. They weren't showing as many sneak peeks. Some players stayed patient because all the quality in the trailers were good. Devs continued, emphasizing polish and long-term stability over rushing the launch, which are completely understandable. And you can literally see the difference in polishing from before and after. In 2025, more signs of progress started appearing through the testing phases. Combat looked more refined, movement systems were smoother, and UI elements started looking closer to the final product. This is also when more internal builds and controlled testing sessions began circulating throughout the community, showing that the game was transitioning from development into near-release polishing. Now in 2026, Rell Seas is closer than it has ever been. This is today. The Trello shows far more completed systems than before. The recent sneak peeks look much more finalized compared to the earlier years. I'll show you some right now. They dropped some like 4 leaks this week. Because of this, the community has started speculating that a release could happen in late April, because the last checklist literally says April 30th it should be completed. And it's just the last thing. While nothing is officially confirmed though, the timing made sense since most core systems appear to be in the late stage of development. And honestly, I don't doubt that it will take longer, but they need to do what they need to do to release this game. We would be happy anyways. I was in middle school when this game dropped, and I'm actually about to graduate. This wraps up 2026. Rell Seas has gone from a concept in 2021, one of the most hyped Roblox games ever built. Every year has added more systems and more reveals and more hype. Now all of that is left is the final release. That's literally all we need, and whether it actually lives up to the 4 years expectation or not, it's still coming out. You shouldn't be twiddling your thumbs waiting on this game like it's going to be beautiful, or else you're not going to like the final product. Anyways, subscribe for more updates on Rell Seas and anime Roblox games in the future. Hope you guys have a great day.